Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar. As shadows creep, he slams the door on tyranny.
Hey everybody, how you all doing? So, Keir Starmer, what can we say about that guy? What an absolute communist nut job he is. So we're gonna take a look at some of his speech from today, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it. It's insane, pure insanity, absolutely insane, man. Right, so. First off, though, separate issue about the live streaming live streaming footage, the video footage that I got from the protest. I've taken it as advice. The consensus seems to be that people want me to do a highlights video. So what I'm going to try and do is, a lot of the streamers that were there, they were just covering the interactions between the police and the protesters. Not a lot of them were actually going around and getting the opinions of the locals or anything like that. Well, I've got some of that. I have got some of the opinions of the locals on it, so I'm going to include that in the video. Just basically the highlights that stood out to me. I think that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, I can't upload the whole thing because it's 5 hours long, and nobody's going to watch a 5 hour long video. So over the next few days, I'm going to be sifting through the footage, putting it together, and then I think Saturday I will upload it. I won't do a morning video on Saturday. I will just upload that highlighted video on Saturday because, unfortunately, for some reason, YouTube punishes content creators if they upload more than 3 videos a day. Why? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. You'd think a video sharing site would want to promote content creators uploading regularly to their channels because it makes them money. I don't understand. I really don't understand the algorithm or anything like, or how it even operates. It's just straight. Honestly, I don't think anybody knows how the YouTube algorithm operates, to be honest with you. But yeah, it seems to, when you upload more than 3, it throttles back traffic to your channel, and it doesn't promote the videos as much as it would if you just uploaded 2. So that's the way forward in future. I'll never upload more than 2 videos a day in that regard. Saying that, let's get back to, I'll remove that from there. That can go. Move from the studio. Right, let's get into it. Because Starmer has said some really insane things today, scary things, in my opinion. A lot of people just think the guy is just, incompetent and stuff like that. He's full on insane. He really is. But we'll have a look. Right, let's get to bookmarks. I've bookmarked all of his craziness. So first up, we've got this. This is what I said about him because he's a nutter. I said this: national renewal sounds a lot like Great Reset. And remember, if you're against the gradual destruction of your country, ethnic identity, culture, and traditions, you're an enemy of the state. And that's exactly what he's saying. That is exactly what he's saying. So we'll listen to the. It looks straight at it. It just looks out of 1984, doesn't it? Just look at him. But we'll pause it and we'll watch this. Listen to the maniac.
This great party is proud of our flags. Yet if they're...
This great party. This great party. This great party is proud of our flags. We'll get to that in a minute.
This great party is proud of our flags. Yet if they're painted alongside graffiti telling a Chinese takeaway owner to go home, that...
Nobody's saying that. There's literally nobody within the Patriot movement saying that. Nobody's saying the Chinese takeaway person must go away. What we're saying is, if you're illegal in this country, you need to be deported. You need to go. If you don't integrate into our society, accept our traditions and our way of life and accept our values, you need to go away. That's what we're saying in this country. And I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest with you, because if I was to go to any other country in the world, that's what would be asked of me. If you're going to come here, you're going to settle here, then you accept our rules, you accept our laws, you accept our traditions. You don't try to remove our traditions and our way of life and substitute your own. That's something you don't do when you're a guest in another country. You don't do that. You take on board the traditions and values of the country that you're in. So once again, Keir Starmer is talking utter bollocks and is lying through his teeth.
That's not pride, that's racism.
That's not pride, that's racism. I can't stand that guy's voice. He's just a mong. He is. He's literally a mong. Yeah, your echo chamber's cheering you. Yeah. Look, I'm talking in an echo chamber. Of course they're going to clap you. They're all as mental as you are.
And conference. If you say or imply the people cannot be English or British because of the colour of their skin.
They can't. Now, this might be controversial among some of you, but they can't. English is an ethnicity. Somebody from Bangladesh can be no more English than I can be Bangladesh if I was to go to their country. It's ridiculous. And let's cover this, right? If I go to Bangladesh and become a Bangladeshi citizen, I'm still not Bangladeshi. I'm still English. I've just got a passport that says I can reside in that country as a citizen. I will never be a Bangladeshi person because I don't have the DNA from the race that's in the country, for starters. So it's just ridiculous. Suella Braverman came out today and said, she's not English. She can't be English. These people, they just don't get it, do they? Right? And I would take it a step further and I would say that if you come and settle here from another country outside of the UK, you're not really British either, because British is a collective name for Welsh, English, Scottish, and Northern Irish. That's what I would say British are. What I would say is that if you come to this country, you accept our values, you accept our culture, and you fit in, and you integrate, then you will be adopted as a British citizen. You will never be British, you will never be English, but we will accept you. That's the thing. Keir Starmer's a lunatic, by the way. Let's look at some of the chat before I carry on. Can't think of a good politician, to be honest. The only decent one is Rupert Lowe. So I'm going to say. It was, but it's Farage, isn't it? It's Farage. British includes Southern Ireland too, along with Brittany and Northern France. But I take your point, yeah. You know what I mean. I don't think there's anybody on this channel that would say that, yeah, I'm racist, because you're not racist. It's not racist to want to protect your culture, your ethnic identity, and your traditions. There's nothing racist about that whatsoever. If that was to happen in any other country and they were protecting those things, the Labour Party would be siding with them. But because it's in this country and it's the English that want to protect their heritage, their traditions, their ethnic identity, then also, no, that's racist. You can't do that. Except every other country, that is true. And because they actually, the Labour Party actually sides with other countries about their nationalism. It's only when the English come out and want to be nationalistic and patriotic, no, I can't do that, that's racist. You can't do that, that's racist. They're just, they don't realise it, but their days are numbered. The Labour Party's days are numbered. They really are. Yeah, he's all right as well. Yeah, Andrew Bridgen. He's not in Parliament anymore, though, is he? Let's talk about MPs. When Brits move abroad, do they embrace a new culture? Not so far as many that move to. When Brits move abroad, do they do so to embrace a new culture? Not so for what? Not so for many that move to Britain. Yeah. He doesn't want to go, Jack. Tommy should be nowhere near politics. This is going to be controversial as well. I would have rather Tommy not endorse Advanced. I would rather Tommy remained a broad church for everybody. That's what I would rather him do, but that's a story for another day. I think English are the most prejudiced against anywhere. We don't just have it from other countries apart from America, but we have it from our own too. Exactly, yeah. And everybody forgets that the white race is a minority in the world. It's not the majority race in the world. It is a minority. And yet we get held to account for things that were done centuries ago that nobody alive today was ever involved in, like slavery and the empire. There's literally nobody in this country alive today that was involved in those things. Nobody at all. It's like me holding an Italian to account for his Roman ancestors in the Roman Empire for invading England. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. She knows she isn't English. She's baiting the patriot movement, trying to cause disobedience so they can increase their control. Exactly. That's Shemaya. I'm going to talk about her in a bit as well, about Paul Golding with his battle coach. She's doing some authoritarian shit as well as a leader, Herr Starmer. Right, let's get back to the video.
But mixed heritage families owe you an explanation. The people who've lived here for generations, raised their children here.
Literally nobody in the patriot movement is saying those people should go. Nobody. This is what we call a straw man argument. He's setting up an argument that nobody's ever made. It's a weak argument that he can easily push over. It's a straw man. There's nobody within the patriot movement that said that, people that have lived here for generations should be deported. The only people we are saying that should be deported are the illegal immigrants, the criminals, the foreign criminals who shouldn't be here, who are in our prisons, the 40,000 or so Islamists that are on our terror watch list, they need to be deported, and anybody that doesn't integrate into our society, which is mainly the Pakistani Muslim men, the Asian community. because they haven't integrated into our society. They've formed colonies where they reject British culture, they reject British tradition, and they install their own tradition. They've got their own courts, for God's sakes. They've got Sharia courts. That tells you, that's a big clue that these people are not integrating into your society when they think their religious law supersedes that of the law of the land. Him being a lawyer should know that. But he's an ideologue. He's got ideology. He's a crazy person, Rob.
Built their lives here, working in our schools, our hospitals, running businesses, are our neighbours. If you say they should now be deported, then mark my words, we will fight you with everything we have, because you are the enemy of national renewal.
You are the enemy of the state. Listen to the guy. He's a nut job. He's an absolute psycho.
Everything we have, because you are the enemy of national renewal.
You are the enemy of the People's Republic of England. You will be defeated. He's an absolute nut job. The guy's insane. And that sounds like a guy ready to fight a civil war. He's not a guy that's trying to unite the country and bring people together. This is a guy that's clearly picked his side and is doubling down on everything he believes. That's the danger. And he needs to be careful what he wishes for, because he might just get it. Absolute psychopath. So here he is again. Just listen to this.
So let me say this, because whilst we must come together to fight reform with everything that this movement has, we must go into that battle armed, not just with words and condemnation, but with action.
Clearly inciting violence there. We must go into this battle armed, not just with words or condemnation, but with action. And this after Charlie Kirk, only a few weeks ago, was murdered because of rhetoric like this. And he's not just talking about the reform, he's talking about all of his political enemies in this. And this is just going to embolden the far left, because they know they're untouchable. They know basically they're untouchable in this, because he's got the police force, he's got the judiciary in his pocket. We're basically in a police state. People don't realize it yet. We're in a police state. We're in an authoritarian state. And there's only one way this goes. If this guy stays in power, if this guy isn't removed by a no confidence vote, there's only way this goes now. He keeps doubling down on things. And that is civil war. David Betts was right. This guy is a lunatic. His rhetoric is dangerous, and it is irresponsible. It's irresponsible. So the chat's saying about this. You think he's coming across like an absolute lunatic? Quite scary. It is scary. This is a guy that's clearly picked his side and is preparing to fight a civil war. I'm telling you, he's getting ready to fight a civil war. He's preparing to go full on communist dictator. This guy. Look at what he's saying. That the national renewal. It sounds very ominous and very communistic, doesn't it? The national renewal. Scary shit.
So let me say this.
So when he was saying that the flags, so this was from 2018, I believe, this at the Labour Party conference. This was 2018. These are the flags. This is the contrast, where it was the left Labour conference 2018, right Labour conference 2025. Keir Starmer. Do you think we're that fucking stupid? Yeah, they're all flying the Palestinian flag when it's convenient. Now it fits in with the narrative. They're all waving the St. George's Cross and the Union flag. They think we're stupid. Starmer is a dangerous lunatic. He really is. And this is from the Labour Party as well. Britain stands at a fork in the road. We can choose decency or we can choose division. This is basically saying that you're either with us or you're against us. Because I don't particularly like Labour's definition of decency. Because Labour's definition of decency is let's murder babies right up till full-term pregnancy. Let's mutilate young kids against their will or against their parents' will. Let's do that. Let's have drag queen story time in schools when the majority of them could be on the sex offenders register. That's what the decency that they stand for. That's their definition of decency. Let's cover up decades of sexual assault of young British girls and pretend like it never happened, and then stop any inquiry into finding out what happened. That's their definition of decency. If that's their definition of decency, I choose division at every single fork in the road, because I stand with good, not evil. And the Labour Party and what it stands for is pure evil. It's evil. That is objectively true. The Labour Party is evil, and what it stands for is evil. That simple. There's no choice. All you have to ask yourself is, are you a good person or are you a bad person? Do you know right from wrong? If you know right from wrong, then you wouldn't stand with Labour in a million years, because they stand for everything that is evil and wrong in the world. They do. That's it. I'll never stand with people like that. Never. Look at some of the comments. People, this creepy communist discourse states everything must be burned to the ground first so communism can rise. And this is what his national renewal is. His national renewal is communism. That's what the national renewal is. Thanks, Nicola H. Let's not forget Labour brought in the Leave Beta bill to try and kill off vulnerable, poorly and elderly people. Yep. Similar to what they've got in Canada. Hi Joe, how are you doing? So I've got some of the comments up here. For some reason the roll wasn't working today, for some reason on that. What's up with that? So I'm just having a look at some of the comments, that's all guys. Oh, is that why it's not doing it? Alright, okay. That's right. In the same instance, it could embolden the right, yeah. I think that sort of rhetoric, though, from Keir Starmer, I think it will make people realise that this guy's a lunatic, and he's got no intentions of standing down in 2029. He hasn't. I talked about this with my friend Tom Generation X. We're worried. We're worried because are we going to have a similar situation to what Biden did with Trump in where he rigged the election so he could win? He's already tried to rig the voting by lowering the voting age because he thinks that 16-year-olds are going to vote for him. I think he's sadly mistaken in that regard, because they realise that under Starmer's regime, they're never going to get on the property ladder. They're never going to own their own property. They're most likely going to be living with their parents up until their mid-40s, because they won't be able to afford property. There won't be enough rented property soon for anybody to rent property, because they've all been bought up by Sirico for our new arrivals. So there's even less social housing. There's going to be even less private rented property for people to rent. So the young people are going to realise that this country doesn't really hold much prospects for them. And I'm telling you, you're going to see a large amount of people, young people, just leave the country. They're going to leave the country. It's like when we see the young generations from third world countries leaving third world countries because there's just no prospect of a future there for them. There isn't. That's what these people are creating. They're not creating growth or anything like that. They're just further managing the decline of the country, which is exactly what their job is. Their job is to manage the decline of this country. They are incompetent, they're incompetent, but the only reason they're in those positions is because they're incompetent, is because they're rubbish at their jobs. Why do you think Rachel from Accounts is Chancellor of the Exchequer? It's because she's absolutely terrible. They need somebody terrible in that position to ruin the country. Why do you think Keir Starmer's Prime Minister? It's because he's terrible at his job and he's a meat puppet. He's a vessel. He's a vessel for the World Economic Forum to run this country. Just like Macron is in France, just like Carney is in Soviet Canada, and the Australian Prime Minister. They're all just vessels, they're all just puppets of the World Economic Forum. That's all they are. That's who the real leaders are. The World Economic Forum, the globalists. Oh, just have a look through the comments. What was that one? Immigration needs stopping completely, then a review of what here and their ideologies. Yeah. I would say a Trump-like ban on immigration from Islamic countries. Total ban. That's what I would say. Total ban on all immigration for at least, I originally said 10 years, but I would say 20 years. Because that's how long it's going to take to sort this mess out. It's not going to be done overnight. There's not a chance. This is nothing. It's him calling us the enemy. You should be mad about. He's put our lives in danger with that remark. Yeah, exactly. I'll have to live in peace, traveling in my camper van. Bye, dumbasses. Okay. Thanks for your input. National renewal. It's laughable. Look at British towns and cities. Absolute ban on Muslims and re-immigration. Yeah, exactly. Clapping like seals. Yeah. He's just talking to an echo chamber. He may as well just be alone on that stage in an empty room because that's about as much impact as his speech has. But these idiots will probably all stand up to racism nut jobs anyway. Mr. Marmite, and soon you won't be able to run your little van. Yeah, exactly. She's gonna put petrol up so much. She's gonna raise taxes. It's going to be an absolute devastating budget. It really is. It's going to be a devastating budget. People need to get ready. I don't think they're ready for what's coming in the budget at all. It's going to be a slaughter. The budget is. People are virtually going to be working for nothing if you can get a job. Because let's not forget, they've raised the national insurance for employers. So employers are reluctant to take on people now. That's stifling growth. They're reducing the numbers. I've seen it, all my friends and stuff like that work in warehouses. They're cutting jobs because they simply can't afford it. They've got to like cut the fat somewhere. They've got the factories, massive factories, have rising energy costs because of net zero bullshit and all that stuff they've got to pay for. They then pay huge amounts of tax on top of that, and then she goes and puts up national insurance for employers as well. If the big firms are feeling it, then imagine what the little small businesses do, the family-run businesses are feeling with these things that are coming. And then she's going to go insane. And then she's on about implementing a 9p per mile tax on cars. It's going to go crazy. It's going to be insane. It is. And we've got 4 more years of this. And we think it's bad now. We haven't seen half of it. This is just the tip of the iceberg. These people are insane. And if the things like VAT at 25% and fuel increase, energy increase, will crash the economy, exactly. They've already got no money left. You're looking at hyperinflation. They're gonna have to start printing money out of control just to keep up. They're in a mess. They're in a real mess. All this is just smoke and mirrors. This conference is absolute smoke and mirrors. It's like putting a plaster over a fucking IED wound. You know, it's like trying to put a band-aid on somebody's amputated arm. That's what this is. The economy is heading for recession, if it's not already in recession, Jack. We're in real trouble. It's if they're giving us no choice but to revolt in order that they can bring in martial law ID cards. And sure, that's what they're trying to push for. But the thing is, it's not going to go their way. It won't go their way. They've grossly misunderstood the amount of people out there that are angry. You know, when I went to the protest on Sunday, and I said this to Tom when I was talking to him, I get a lot of comments in my video saying the English won't fight. They won't fight. They haven't got it in them anymore. I saw the look in those people's eyes on Sunday, and I realized, yes, the English people will fight. They were angry. They were really angry. And the thing is, this anger is not going to go away. People think winter will come, it'll calm down, it'll dissipate. It's not. It'll simmer down, it won't go away, it'll be bubbling under the surface for the whole of the winter, and then boom, as soon as summer comes again, it's going to raise up again. It's not going away. The more these people keep doubling down on their rhetoric, the more pressure they keep putting on society, the more cracks will form. I saw it on X the other day. Excellent comment from somebody on X said that if you keep poking a dog with a stick, eventually it will turn around and bite you. And that's what's been happening for decades to the working class. The political class has been poking the working class for decades, absolute decades, taking the piss, raising taxes, treating them like shit. And now the working class is about to bite them. And they don't realize it. They just don't realize it. They don't. Look at what they've been doing. It's not dying, Jack. The UK isn't dying. If anything, it's awakening. I don't want to live to see the day where all the people that are doubling, doubting the UK are proven wrong. Exactly. It's in our DNA. We are rebellious by nature. It may be dormant, but it can be awakened. In times like this, it can be awakened. The UK's landmass, it can't die. Thanks for that one. Very true. But yeah, let's have a look at some more of this insanity from the Labour Party. We'll move on to some different stuff now. So this was Paul Golding. So this was Mahmood, whatever her name is. So we'll get to that in a minute as well about this guy. But apparently Paul Golding's bus was seized today. Steve will know more about this. Paul Golding was talking about it earlier, about a Section 60. And apparently it can only be used in conjunction with another certain piece of legislation as well, and it has to come from the higher ups. It has to come from the Home Secretary, which is that whatever her name is, Shemai Papood or whatever her name is. It has to come from her, and it's just authoritarian, isn't it? You know, Keir Starmer can get on his podium and call half the country racist, but he doesn't like getting it back. He's the worst kind of bully, isn't he? He can take it, but he can't. He can dish it out, but he can't take it. You know, they can't get it for Section 5 or anything like that. The only thing that's offensive to is Keir Starmer. It specifically said Keir Starmer is a wanker. It's just the police overstepping their authority again, isn't it? I'm calling her Shelob Blob Mahmood. Yeah, that's a good one, Steve. Sad shag. That's a good one too. You know, what I want to know is, right, and I know everybody's going to give the same answer. Where the hell is the opposition? Where are the Tories? Because they're just silent, aren't they? They're just useless. Where is Kemi Badenoch anyway? What is she doing? They're useless. We have literally the worst opposition in the worst possible time, and we have the worst leaders at the worst possible time in our history, don't we? That's what the issue is. Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, school libraries filled with state regime approved propaganda. Definitely, that's going to happen, isn't it? You know, the storybooks in children's nurseries where, you know, there's about 36,000 genders. They did Mr. Golden for Section 59 and Section 3 and 34 of the Road Traffic Act, which is what you do a dirt bike rider for, annoying people on bridleways. They're just out of control, aren't they, Steve? There's no accountability for them. Zero accountability. They can literally do anything they like and get away with it. It's like, yeah, here's your get away with it and do anything you want card, which used to be a warrant card, didn't it? Does Starmbot care that people are calling him a wanker? He hates it, doesn't he? He hates it. He's got a thin skin. He's got a really thin skin. But he can get to his podium and he can call all the patriots racist. As Steve said, Shablob Bob Maboo can get on their podium and refer to us and be very descriptive and bigoted and say, oh, that they're just the remnants of the skinhead movement. Just completely watch the 16-year-old, you know, having the flag nicked. Yeah, we'll try and have a look at that in a minute, actually. Also more bad news. Sadiq Khan is back again, running for London Mayor again. He's going to win it. I'm sorry to Ant Middleton, right? I've got to apologise to him, but there's no way in hell that he is going to win the mayoral election in London. There's just not enough. There's not enough demographic to support him in London anymore. There isn't. It's lost. It's a lost city. It's like Birmingham. It's like Bradford. Those are lost cities. They're no longer English. Those are no longer English cities. London isn't an English city. It's like a country within a country. Just like parts of England now. It's going. I say Starmer is more of a wank stain than a wanker. Yeah. I wonder how many Tories will defect to reform. Then I worry about controlled opposition. They're already controlled opposition, unfortunately. You know, the back and forth between Starmer and Nigel Farage today was just pantomime. And this is why I refuse to talk about party politics. Because if you look at it If you looked at it from outside, it's just pure pantomime. Parliament is just pure pantomime. There's no power there anymore. The Westminster Parliament now is like the Parliament they have in the EU. It's there for show. It's to give the illusion of democracy. The real control lies in the fifth column that lays within Whitehall with the civil service and with the permanent secretaries. That's where the real power lies now, with the unelected officials. That's why I keep saying it doesn't matter who you send to Parliament. They can't do anything because they'll be bogged down with red tape from the civil service, who refuse to do what the government wants them to do because they've got way too much power. And same with the permanent secretaries. They've got way too much power. So look at some of this stuff. So let's have a look at this. This is another story I wanted to look at. It appears that Fox News showed this judge, Guy Carroll, is that his name, Guy Carroll, reading out his sentence to someone to 20 months in jail for a social media post. It's worth noting that him and others like him let pedos with child sex abuse images walk free. Yeah, just let that sink in. So this judge, Guy Carroll, let a pedo with sex abuse images walk free while sentencing a man who made an offensive Facebook post to 20 months in jail. Again, it's the old saying, isn't it? It's the communist saying, find me the man, I'll find you the crime. It's judges like this that need to be rooted out, investigated, and kicked out of the profession. Similar to what Trump did in America. Root them out, sack them, because they should be nowhere near the judiciary. They're activists. They're activists. They're not unbiased. They're politically motivated, and it's basically a kangaroo court. It's making a mockery of our judiciary, having people like this in courts of law. It's a joke. Police overreach exposed. A citizen journalist was targeted and discriminated on Section 14 wearing a cap. And I'm not looking at this one. Let's have a look at this one. Let's see what we've got to say about it.
So there's a Section 14 in place, so you need to be a protester as well.
No, I'm reporting though.
Clearly from your outfit as well, you're here because you clearly from your outfit as well, you're here.
No, I've been reporting here from the very first one.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
You can go to Section 14 in place, means that everything goes to Section 14 in place, means that everything goes to Section 14 in place, means that everyone needs to be on that side of the road.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
All right.
That's
So
fine.
if you can move back over to the other side of the road.
Yeah, but I'm
you
reporting.
had a chance to take some photos. That's what I just said. You've had a chance. You can now go back over. There's a reason. There's safety reasons as to why we're saying that the protest needs to take place over there. Okay.
I'm not protesting though. I'm reporting under Section 17. I'm reporting though under Section 17.
I've just said that you've had enough chance to actually get some photos this side.
I'm on the live stream now. I'm doing a live stream to my channel.
Over to the other side, please.
These guys will tell you I come here every single week, twice a week. So you heard that, guys? Being discriminated against because of my hat. Oh, you got his dispersal? You put dispersal for 6? Are you just asking? But I've gone over there to film, and they said because of my hat, I'm classed as a protester, mate. That's discrimination against what I'm wearing for a start. And I've been to every single protest doing citizen journalism every single week for the last 13 weeks or 12 weeks. So I told her that my partner was over there taking pictures for me for my channel as well. So I did say to her, I've got a Section 17. Right? I've got the right to report under Section 17, yeah? I'm not a protester. I never have been, right? And I know you guys have been down here, like, pretty much, you see my faces down here. So if I go back over there, I would like someone to go over and tell your colleague, yeah, to not try and tell me to come back over here when I've got no need to.
They don't know what they're talking about, do they? They don't know what they're talking about. Every single time, these people don't understand that they're the police. If you don't know the law, then you shouldn't quote it, should you? If you don't know what you're saying is actually the law, you shouldn't quote it. I don't know why all this statement stuff is all over the place. It's very old club, savvy, jabby belongs to it. I guess it's time to wake up, people. Yeah. Fabian, at one time it was like the Freemasons, but the Fabian Society really is a dodgy group of people. I'm not saying that the Masons aren't, I'm not dissing anybody that's involved in that sort of thing. I'm just saying that you can actually get evidence about the Fabian Society and understand what it is, because it literally is an infiltration. They don't hide what they are. They literally are an infiltration group. They said they use the democratic process to infiltrate places. That's what they do. And literally, their banner is a wolf in sheep's clothing to signify the fact that they are infiltrators. They will pretend to be something, infiltrate, and then take it over. Crazy. Yeah, they've got their hands in everything. But if there was an investigation into all of our institutions, I bet at the top you would find a Fabian in every single institution. Ofcom, I bet he's absolutely full of Fabians. Off communism, full of Fabians. The police chiefs, Fabians. Judiciary, Fabians involved within that, pushing their agenda. Yep. Like a virus, yeah, everywhere. And they've done it with a very few people as well. They've done it with very few people, but it's like chess. You move your chess pieces over time as a strategy before you strike, don't you? And that's what they've done with the members of the Fabian Society. They position these people into positions of power. They'll be in the NHS, they'll be in the judiciary, they'll be in the police, they'll be in the higher ups of the police. They'll be everywhere. Every public institution, there will be Fabians controlling the flow of information, the flow and the direction in which these places go. Yeah. He does. That's the thing about petitions. I will say this for petitions, though. They're very good. In fact, we'll have a look at that one in a minute because it's interesting. The petition for the, digital ID, it basically shows that Starmer is going to lose the entire red wall. He's going to lose the red wall in the next general election. And that's how we're going to know if there's any election rigging. Because if counties within the red wall start going to Labour, we know there's something going on, because there's a lot of people in those constituencies absolutely livid with Labour. They're saying they're never going to vote Labour again. When I was at that protest on Sunday, they were saying Toby Birkin's days are numbered. They're not going to vote for him. They're going to vote him out at the next election. He's not going to be the MP for Chesterfield anymore because he's an absolute scumbag. Yeah, he did. Yeah, the red wall's gone. They haven't got the red wall anymore. They've lost all support. Literally, no working class people support the Labour Party now, because it's not a party for them. They hate the working class. Absolutely hate them. It's a party of middle to upper class champagne socialists. That's what it is now. They've taken it over. They've taken it away from the working class. It has. Perkins' majority is less than 3K. Yeah, he's going to lose that. Next election, he's gone. He's gone big time. So, as the MP for Bolsover as well, her days are numbered. I forget what her name is, but her days. We'll get the map up and I'll show you what it. In fact, we'll do that now. We'll get the map up and have a look at it. Stop sharing for a bit so I can get these things up. We'll go and have a look. Right. Let's get back to that. I'm not feeling too good at the minute. I'm starting with a bug, I think. That's the joys of having kids. They bring all kinds of bugs home, start coming down with something, I think. Let's have a look. Right. Petition, digital ID, there we go. Right, we'll get this back up again. Share this. There we go. It's still going up. It's nearly on. It's going to be 3 million in it soon. 3 million. More detail. They can do it by map somewhere. Where's the map? Start petition data. Yeah. Just that. Showing a map. Let's have a look at the map. It's nearly all red. Look at the state of that. I want to see if Chesterfield's done better. Look at the state of that. Right, so Chesterfield is around here in the middle somewhere. So let's go and find Chesterfield. Let's have a look. Labour. There's a lot of these places that are going to lose Labour. Oh. South Derbyshire. Oh, Spotify, I can go around. Derbyshire Dales. North East Derbyshire. In the middle there somewhere. Sheffield, Healy. There it is, Chesterfield. Mr. Toby Perkins. 4,199 signatures. Now I think it was just on 2,000 the other day. It's definitely gone up there. Bolsover's around here somewhere. Bolsover's this one, I think. Bolsover, that's it. Natalie Fleet MP, 5,000. Yeah, she's definitely going to get kicked out. Look at that one's nearly black. That's South Holland and the Dean Pins. That's Conservative. 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 That is Conservative as well. So it's some of these black ones. So Labour. That's Rossdale and Devon. A lot of these people are going to lose their seats, aren't they? Like St Helens, South Winston. See if we can find the really dark ones. Obviously, the lighter ones are basically London, aren't they? Around the London area. Zoom in a bit. Greenwich, Woolwich, West Ham. Guildford. Trying to get on. What's that there? The lightest one. Brent West, Labour. West Streeting. That's his one. 2,573 signatures. You can see the contrast, can't you, up in the north of the country. You can tell where some of the really lefty places are the ones that are still pretty much, 1,000. That's Conservative, that one. Yeah, so if you look at the whole country, it's more or less red, isn't it? Absolutely red. Kent and all these sort of places. That one there, that's South Holland Deepins, that's Conservative, that one. I looked at that one, didn't I? Obviously, all these counties down here. Not looking good for Labour, is it? Not looking good for them at all, really. My area, dark red, yeah. But my Aberdeenshire, I think, was 3,000. Still hasn't moved in a while. Right, okay. We're being flooded with a mass in Essex. That's the thing, isn't it? That the places like Dover and places like that got a project coming up soon, hopefully in the works. More about that in the future, though. There's definitely a project coming up to do with Dover. Looks promising. So I'm going to say for the time being, bit of a spoiler. Is anyone in UK, Advanced UK or Reform UK that's been capable of winning against Sadiq Khan in the London mayoral race? Or is Khan unbeatable? He's unbeatable. He is unbeatable because they'll always vote for the status quo. Khan might be rubbish, but he gives them everything they want, unhindered, doesn't he? He's favourable towards them, so they're going to vote for somebody that's favourable towards them. Even if he turns London into an absolute shithole, they don't care because they come from shitholes. So to them, it's no different. They just get free shit in this shithole they're living in. So they'll keep voting for him. This is why I've said previously, the Mayor of London, I believe, should be voted on by the entire country. If we're going to have a Mayor of London, then the whole country should have a say in who is Mayor of London, because London represents the whole country. It's our capital city. And if Sadiq Khan wants to step outside his role as mayor and talk on the world stage, then definitely it needs to be voted on by the whole country. That's my opinion anyway. This is why, though. This is exactly why here. This is exactly why here. Why Ant Middleton won't be voted in as London mayor. 30% native British. There just simply isn't the numbers there anymore to do it. I'm not saying that there won't be some non-native British that won't vote for him. There could be, but it's not enough to get a majority. A lot of vote rigging going on, I would suggest, in the mayoral as well. Excellent point, Vin. Thank you. Sounds great, difficult in reality for most people. What's that about? Yeah, that's the point, though, isn't it? I'll try and get that comment back up. It is. London is a lefty stronghold. The Westminster bubble, isn't it? It's the north-south divide. Jack, people in the councils, like returning officers, have been falsifying the vote since Khan was voted in 2016. He's got the system nicely wrapped up around his little finger. Why do you think he's going for another term? Because he knows he'll get it. If he didn't know he wasn't going to get it, he wouldn't run, because he's a coward. He knows he's going to get in. Finn, what do you think about people who plan to move off-grid away from society and try and escape the system? If they were in Canada, I'd probably say good luck to them, but in England it's hard because there is nowhere off the grid anymore in this country. It's too small. You can't really go off the grid. The only place you could really go off grid if you really wanted to would be the Outer Hebrides, the Scotland, remote Scotland. If you really wanted to cut yourself off, but then you really cut off. You're talking proper self-sufficiency, where you've got to hunt and grow your own food. So I'd say good luck to people, but it's not like being in Canada where you can build a new life for yourself out in the wilderness and stuff like that. It's hard to do in this country because, like I said, it's small. It's a small country. You can still be trashed. You can still be traced. You can still be tracked in this country. If that was possible, I would do it. Trust me. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than to say, bye, I'm going. No, he's not pulled out. He's not said it officially, but the Reform Party pulled the plug on him, didn't they? They pulled the plug because he went and batted for Tommy Robinson at the Unite the Kingdom march. So obviously, anybody involved with Tommy Robinson has to be shunned and banished from the Reform Party, don't they? Thanks for answering, Ben. I understand wild camping is meant to be illegal in England, but isn't in Scotland. Do you think the government will try and make it illegal? Imagine they will. They could try. I mean, I go wild camping. It is illegal. It's frowned upon. It's like trespass. So if you're asked to move, you have to move on. It's that simple. I mean, I go wild camping and that sort of thing, and stealth camping, which is fun enough. I should bring that up because I do have. But let's go and take a look at that. Something else to look at, really. I have my own camping channel. I've had it for a bit. I've kind of neglected it. I've neglected it for a long time. I've not done any content for it. Everything that happened at the beginning of the year and last year, I just put it on a back burner. Everybody was like asking me the other day about what hobbies do you have? You know, what hobbies do you have besides doing this? It's like wild camping. I love the outdoors. I love hiking. I love just getting away into nature and stuff like that. So yeah, let me get it up. Show you guys it. Find it. Put it up on YouTube. That's a good idea, wouldn't it? Look at that. Well, yeah, I love the outdoors, hiking and stuff like that. Get rid of that. There we go. That's better. Go to YouTube and get it. I see my 2C's gone live, and he said himself, this is his title of his video, breaking, Starmer declares war on British patriots, says, we will fight you. If that's not somebody gearing up for a civil war, I don't know what it is. But he's definitely gearing up for something, that guy. Right, let's have a look at this. So my camping channel is called Dark Night Camping. Get that up. There we go. Right, we'll share the screen. I'll just show it. We'll get back to the political stuff in a bit, but it's something a bit different, isn't it? Share the screen. If you want to see somebody just stomping through the woods and trying to camp in ridiculous places, then that's the channel for you. I mean, I've done some camping in the Peak District and other places. Some places I don't even take a tent. I just whack the British Army bivvy bag and sleeping bag on the ground with a tarp over the top of me and just sleep and camp out. What I do. Just do a share screen. So this is my Dark Night Camping. As you can see, I've got 424 subscribers on there. I've got loads of content on there. Loads of content on here. Like I've done loads of videos, camping videos, new fire pit, idiots, menaced by motorbikes and stealth camp, druid caves, all kinds of stuff. Haunted hills, went to Pendle Hill, slept on Pendle Hill. All kinds of stuff. As you can see. Yeah, so this is what I do when I'm not talking about politics or the state of the country. This is where it's not political. I don't mention anything political in my videos, my camping videos. It's just about going out into the great outdoors and just enjoying it. That's what it's about. So if you fancy that, just go and subscribe to my channel. Just go and go watch my videos. There's plenty of content on there. But yeah, that's what I do in my spare time. But yeah, that's what I do. So look at some of the chat. So that's it. CSCC, gotta go. Bye all. See you later. Thanks for coming in. Effectively, Starmer's declaring war on the British working class. Yes, he is. I think he's drawing the battle lines. I think he's, yeah, he's not trying to unify all the sides. He's just drawing his battle lines, isn't he? Saying you either agree with us or you're the enemy. That's what he said, and that's what all absolutists do. That's what all extremists do. You're either with them or you're against them. There is no middle ground. It's just black and white. You're either with them or you're against them. Classic extremist behaviour. No room for negotiation. We are the decency. That's what he said, isn't it? You either want decency or division. So if you don't want what Starmer's offering, you want division. And I said this earlier, that, you know, if what Starmer is offering is his decency, then I stand with division, because I stand with the good. I'm on the good side of history. I will never stand with evil. And that's what Starmer represents. He represents evil, absolute evil, authoritarian communism. That's what he stands for. That's what he believes in. And I stand against that firmly. It's good that you have experience camping, Vin, and living off grid. To an extent, it may win anyone. Exactly. It's about honing the skills as well. It is. I've had a lot of fun doing it. You know, don't get me wrong, I make mistakes and stuff like that, but that's all part of camping. You learn from your mistakes. To be honest with you, half the people that say they're scared of being out in the dark or camping at night, it's just because they don't know what to expect. Once you've been out a few times and you've listened to the woods and you know what all the noises are, you're not afraid anymore. You know, the first time you go out in the woods and you hear a fox scream, you'll swear blind it's a woman screaming out in the woods. You will, but it's not. It's just a fox. Movement through the trees. You get this. Steve will probably know, right? There's this. In fact, let's bring it up. A lot of people's issues when they go out at night is it's the human brain. It's the human brain playing tricks on you. It's let's have a look at it. Oh dear. I think what it's called. There's a name for it. It's like your brain tries to fill in the blanks. So what it does, it'll see what it thinks is an outline out in the forest, and it will try to humanize it. So if you're looking at a tree, your brain will try and turn it into the shape of a human, and then you get spooked because you think there's somebody out there, and it's not. It's just your brain trying to fill in the blanks because of the darkness. And once you realise that, you start to become less scared. You think, yeah, it's just my imagination. And the minute you shine a torch on it, then it's just a bush and nothing else. That's it. You've got to think, when you're out in the countryside, there's animals. Animals are going to be nocturnal. There's badgers walking about at night. There's deer. There's all sorts. That you go one of my camping videos. I was doing a hammock camp. And I think it's one of you probably ought to see it if you go and check out my channel. I had 2 wild horses come and visit me. That they were just inquisitive, but it was like I wasn't scared of them. I was just like, yeah, I don't particularly want these going ploughing through my camp in the middle, like galloping through my tent in the middle of the night. It was like that was interesting. you get some unexpected things. I've had to abandon some camps. I was doing a stealth camp under the M1. It was one of those underpasses. I was doing a stealth camp in one of those, and some homeless people turned up and started chucking bottles into the darkness, and they were landing all around me. And it was like, right, that's it, it's time to go. But yeah, it's all part of the fun of camping. Some things, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, it's not exactly American Werewolf in London, Jack. Stay to the roads, lad. Stay to the roads. Stay off the moors. If I came across a pub called the Slaughtered Lamb, I'd probably get worried, Jack. You okay when it's not a full moon, Jack? Yeah. Yeah, my father did an old picket in Burma, and they had market OP properly, and were worried at night by Japanese patrol. That turned out to be a sand of bamboo. Yeah, your eyes can really play tricks on you. They really can. It's worse when it's misty. When it's misty as well. When it's misty and there's no moon, that can get spooky. To be honest with you, when you're out in the woods, there's probably more to fear from the towns and cities at night than there ever is up in the woods. Just be sure not to go near any dogging spots like I did once. That was interesting. That wasn't meant to be stand, not sand. Starmer sneak up when we're calling you far right, Dave. Yeah. Yes. Like out in the woods. Far right. At night, yeah. No, my luck, I would go camping and Starmer would turn up from behind the hedge, yeah. Starmer thinks everyone is far right unless you're like, yeah, he does. Of course he does. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah. I've had the strangest thing I've ever had happen to me is when I was setting up a hammock camp. I was just starting to set up my hammock, and I was up in some woods, and it was proper out in the wilderness. It was like, there wasn't, the nearest farm was about 3 or 4 miles away. There's no other farms around. And this bloke came walking through the woods with his arms outstretched, with a bin liner in his arms, and he walked past through my camp and gave me the creepiest smile you can give somebody, and then disappeared into the forest. Well, I thought, now that's me done. I packed up and I went home, because once I know somebody like that is in the forest with me, it's like, where the hell are they? They know where I am. They've disappeared into the forest. I haven't got a clue where they've gone. So it's like, yep, it's time to pack up. It's time to leave. I've had some strange things happen, definitely. I was up at, there's a place called Shilltoe Woods. It's actually on my channel, this particular incident. I was in my hammock again. At the top, it must have been about, I can't remember what time it was now, it was either 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And somebody literally came up to my hammock and just shouted right outside my hammock. And I was like, I jumped out, got the head torch on, because I'm fully clothed. I don't like undress or anything, like fully clothed. Tossed off the blankets and stuff like that, opened up the hammock, and I could see people running through the woods. Got my head torch on, I was like full beam into the woods, And it was like, that was a close one. But yeah. They saw me chasing them through the woods, Mrs. Moon. I was angry. I was like, I got my hiking stick. I was proper full bull chasing through the woods after him behind being torch on. And all I could hear him saying was, fucking hell, he's coming. He's coming. It was like, I think it was like kids, teenagers and stuff. They were just messing about in the woods. But, you know, it's like, don't go up to somebody's hammock because you don't know who's camping there. And don't mess with them in the night. Definitely don't mess them. Definitely don't mess with them at 1 o'clock in the morning. Especially, it's out in the sticks. It was literally out in the Peak District. Well, there is that as well. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's not a good idea, is it? Mess with random people in tents at night. It's not a good idea. I've got some of that. I have some that criminal identifier spray that I take with me now. It's like smart water. It's like that foam stuff. It's just a peace of mind, really. Don't get me started on that. Oh my God. Literally everybody in the camping community, they're either getting kidnapped by aliens when they're going out stealth camping, or they're having a Bigfoot encounter, or it's ghosts. And it's like, fucking hell. It's like, okay, fair enough. If that's what you've got to do to get your clicks, fair enough. I live in the sticks with Somerset, and we're fortunate not to have migrant crime related issues. Lucky you. Exactly. Messing with people at their tents is a stupid thing to do, especially at night time. Yeah. Especially somebody that's got PTSD and they're asleep. It's like you don't wake anybody up that's got PTSD making noises, because, you know, not a smart move. Definitely not a smart move. So we'll see some of the comments. I'm going to drop the link in. Everyone wants to come in and have a chat, can do. My brain is starting to go to mush though, so I apologise if I'm low energy. I was up early this morning. Copied. Vin may ask, he's been out camping out. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a lot why I do it. To be honest with you, that's why I do the early morning walks as well. Since I've been doing those, it's improved a hell of a lot. It's not as bad as it was when I first came back from Iraq, but it's never going to go away. But I can manage it better now. Luckily, I've got a really good partner, Michelle, my partner. She's really great. She understands and stuff like that. She helps me a lot with it. Before, when I came back, it was a nightmare. It literally is a demon you have to live with for the rest of your life. But yeah, it's not good. But yeah, it does help. The walking helps. Being out in the countryside helps. And the camping really helps, because sometimes I can be in the house and I will get this feeling of claustrophobia, like everything's closing in on me, and I just have to get out. It can come from nowhere. Anything can trigger it. It was worse this summer because it was warm. Anything can trigger it. The smell of petrol, that's a trigger that tends to trigger it. A noise, a sound. Yeah, it can literally happen at any time. And it's just like, yeah, I've got to get out. And going out and camping in the woods is peaceful and stuff like that. I love it. I do. Then let's just hope the government don't really knuckle down on camping and try to get rid of that as well. They probably will. I'd still do it. I did it during lockdown. I didn't give a shit about the restrictions during lockdown. I was out camping during that. It's like, try and find me. Try and find me. You know, there's a golden rule when you go out wild camping and stealth camping. It's like, so long as you you set up camp at dawn, at dusk, and you're gone for dawn, there's usually no issues. And if anybody comes up and asks you to move on, you move on. It's that simple. You don't argue with them. Fair enough, I'm going. Move on. It's another reason I've got the body cam as well. I've had the body cam with me, so if anybody tries to mess with me, I've got the body cam to record it all and stuff like that. It's never happened. Touch wood. It's never happened to me yet that I've been asked to move on, because I've always been respectful. I don't have campfires, anything like that. I don't make fires. I have a gas stove that I do my hot chocolate and my noodles or whatever I'm having on. That's it. I'm respectful. I respect the countryside. It's like leave no trace. So you leave it as you find it, and then you never have no issues. Just the way I do it. Good night, all. Take care. Night, Missy Moon. You're warned by the ranger officer about watching out for this. All right, Jerry, I'll be on the training areas and report them. Someone said, what about the Gurkhas? During lockdowns, I violated the rules many times because they were just ridiculous. Whilst I wasn't dragged down to the police station over it, but there were others I've seen who did get that. Yeah. You know what? Let's take a look at this, right? Because I've never shown this. This is how authoritarian the Derbyshire Constabulary was. Steve will probably know what I'm going to show. I'll see if I can find it, because it's hilarious. They were nutters during the lockdown, Derbyshire police. See if I can find it. Should be able to. So I'm trying to type, and it's like my eyes like, ugh. Peak District. No, you know what I hate? Does anybody else have this issue, right? When you're fighting with your own phone about what you want to type, it keeps replacing your sentences with words that it's choosing that you haven't chosen. It annoys me. That's why sometimes my messages look like gobbledygook. It's because the chuffing predictive text is trying to write the text for me. It's like, I'll choose what I write, thank you. Like arguing with the phone. It's like, no, I don't want to put that. I've chosen to put this. Right, here we go. So it comes up with. Oh yeah, this is it. This is it. They were insane. They really were. Where are they? It's loaded in a minute. I'll share it once it's loaded. Because this is absolutely insane. They thought this was a good use of resources, by the way. I'll get rid of this ad. You know what? I'll show it you. Right. So this was just share the screen. Watch this. Steve will probably recognise this, but this was Derbyshire Constabulary during the lockdown. This is what they thought was a perfectly reasonable use of drone resources. So they were spying on people in the Peak District with their drones. You know, people walking by themselves out in the Peak District, away from anybody. Not dystopian at all, is it, this? And we want to give these people digital ID. That sort of power, that sort of surveillance power. No thanks. They were just insane. Absolutely insane, weren't they? That was that anyway. That was Derbyshire. That was Derbyshire constabulary, that during lockdown. Insanity. No, I haven't. I've been thinking about it, about doing some footage down there. That might be interesting one weekend. Then, if you was at the gym and you seen an illegal immigrant perving on a woman and she was squatting, and he even gets his phone out and starts recording without her knowledge, would you report it or not? What sort of question is that? Of course, I would report it. I would at least tell the woman what he was doing, and then let her make the decision. Bit of a strange question, that one. During lockdowns, they were sent out fixed fines. Employment force paid them. Savvy folk did not. Oh, you know what? They never saw me out in the Peak District because I was on Kerber Gap. I was doing stealth camping, camouflage netting over. I've got a special tarp. It's got a heat-resistant mesh underneath it. So it limits your infrared profile. We had it out in Iraq. It was just, you know, in case they were doing their thing over there. It cuts out your infrared signature. Yeah, it was still a bit of a weird question to ask, though. Matt Del Clark, bit strange. I remember this, unbelievable, they actually happened, yeah. Imagine sending out your drone that probably costs thousands an hour to actually fly. By the way, we're paying for it. Taxpayers are paying for that. Walking a dog, essential, exactly. And what's to say those people didn't just drive up there that only live just down in the village? Possibility. How do they know who they were? This is when the police started. Well, Steve will probably disagree, but it's when we first saw how draconian and authoritarian the police were and how quick they could change. I remember them arresting OAPs on park benches that were sitting together. I remember that. I remember that video of a family having a funeral where the man goes over to comfort the woman and the funeral director comes in and tells them they have to move apart. That insanity. And that was all under Boris Johnson, Conservative government. I said, I'm doing Conservative in air quotations, by the way, because Boris Johnson's government was anything but Conservative. It was Liberal. He's a liberal lunatic. His whole family are liberal lunatics. How anybody thought that that guy was going to be any different is beyond me. Totally agree. Plod were annoying. Were enjoying it. They were absolutely enjoying it. Exactly. They are. They always have been. They've got more in common than they've got differences now. They'll go to the same universities. They all travel in the same circles. Right, guys. I know. I said I was going to invite people in, but I think I'm going to call it a night. We're at 1 hour 31, and my brain is turning to mush. So I'm going to call it a night. Thanks for coming along, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment if you like the content. And I shall see you all soon. Watch out. I'll upload it Saturday. The highlights of the protest video that'll be uploaded Saturday. There won't be a morning walk video. It'll just be that video the whole day, just to give it more traction and get it a bit more going. So yeah, don't expect a morning walk video. I'm going to try and play by YouTube's algorithm rules and not upload too many videos. So yeah, I shall see you all soon. Thanks for coming along. Like I said, this channel is nothing without you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for interacting. And I shall see you all soon. This is Vindicator signing off. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve, for being the moderator and doing your duty, mate. Thanks for that. See you all soon. Fog. Night. No, they haven't. One last question. No, they haven't. They're still going. There's going to be. I'll leave that because I'm not sure about that yet. But I'll leave that. But yeah, they've not stopped. Yes. Night all. God bless you too. Night, everybody. This is Vindicator signing off.